I'm reading about this movie. The person who had the worst time in this movie was the guy who played Predator. Kevin Hall could not see through the mask.
Oh my
he could
God.
not move. He would have to go through they would make him go through this water, and he would get leeches on him. Like he was like it wasn't filming. It was like we got through it. Like he was miserable the whole fucking time.
How many days do you think he was needed on set?
A
the whole
lot. I would
time.
say a lot. Yeah, because
Yeah.
later on, it's all the last third. You know, they
It's all
get
him.
rid of it's all him, and
Yeah.
that's why it's truly not a horror movie, because you see Predator way too fucking much.
Well, in the beginning,
Which is
you
cool,
don't
'cause he
know
was-
what's killing these people.
Which
and
is
skinning
right.
them.
That's where it's scary.
Right. It's the
Yeah.
unknown.
Yeah.
And then once you know sort of the source of
You
evil,
ugly
you're like,
son of a
okay.
bitch.
What the hell are
Yeah, so
you?
they land in the
Kevin
jungle.
Peter Hall. He also did the voice of Optimus Prime, the guy who did. Not Kevin Peter Hall, but the guy who did the Predator's voice also did Optimus Prime.
What's the Predator's voice? Isn't the Predator's voice just the clicking? Isn't it just that?
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
there's you got to get the clicker guy.
And then he does like the.
That's pretty good, Sarah.
Thank you.
He goes like the when he repeats it back to him.
Ugh.
That's always great.
But
He's
he
like,
was Kevin Peter Hall was he was in both Predator and Predator 2.
Predator in the City.
Predator.
Predator takes Broadway.
Oh, he died of fucking AIDS at 36.
Who
The
did?
guy who played
Yikes.
Predator.
Oh my God! From
Which
the
I didn't-
leeches?
No, not the leech.
No, from an actual predator.
From an actual predator. Yeah, from an actual predator.
Yeah, an actual predator got him.
An actual predator got
That
him.
poor
But
guy.
A bug chaser.
he also, this is the big thing. Guess what role he was? This is the thing that I want to say. Guess the role he was before this.
What?
What?
They went from Van Damme, and because Kevin Peter Hall's 7'2". He is 7'2".
Really?
He's huge. Huge. Died in
I
91.
mean, that might have also
7'2".
helped with what
Before
he did.
this, he was Harriet in the Hendersons.
Oh my goodness.
So talk about two different
Which,
experiences.
by the way, Dan Soder was at our wedding. We did have a wedding cake. It
Yeah.
melted because it got too hot, and then we had pie. That's like what we really served. Dan was Harry in the Henderson, and I was Annabelle. And we had two little figurines. And what happened was we ended up moving them to his dad's
I
garage.
also will die of
and
AIDS.
He will die of AIDS. We moved them to his dad's garage, and then like mice ate them or shit all over them. And like once a mouse shits on something, you can't Clorox wipe it off.
But I do love
But
that.
it makes me sad.
I do love that your representation on the wedding cake was.
was Harry in the
Harry.
Yeah.
Harry, yep.
Yeah,
Which
well,
is-
it's our relationship.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's this. It's one of the toughest endings. It's the.
Oh, my God.
It's the classic Jack London White Fang ending, where John Lithgow has to go, "Get out of here! Don't you understand? I don't want you here." And then Harry's like, "Oh."
Oh, that's
how
so
I feel
sad.
every-
That was so sad.
That's how I feel every weekend I leave a comedy club.
Get out of
Really.
here.
That's what
You
I
guys
feel like
have a-
every time I see my friends on Instagram.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I go, "You guys have a pretty good buffalo chicken salad." They go, "Get out of here!"
they throw mozzarella sticks on your Spirit flight to get you in there.
I told you there was going to be a Uber at your hotel for you to go to the airport.
So they get to the island. They find the bodies of the Green Berets. Their skin, they're upside down.
And they assume an animal did it, but there are no
And
tracks.
Isn't this where there's a big pussy joke?
There's a lot of big pussy.
There's
jokes.
there's another big pussy. I think there's a 4 total big pussy jokes.
See if I can
Because
find
when
all
they
those pussy
find
jokes.
the bodies skinned,
They're
they
like, oh, this
find
reminds me of a giant pussy.
Yeah, they're not even good.
He's not even trying. You know, he just.
Oh, look at this! It's like a cavernous pussy.
You know that
Well,
was that because the guy who does the pussy jokes, that's all he does in the movie, and then he dies essentially. So it's like that was his thing.
What's the order of death in the crew?
I think I can do this actually. The first, well, obviously the Russians die. The Green Berets that we don't see die first.
Because that's why they're sent in there.
Then the Russians die.
Was they go? So then they. It turns out that Dutch and his boys are actually there to do some dirt for the CIA.
Yeah.
And they go and blow out that village. Great 80s fight scene. It's
Great.
one of the most like everyone shoots a gun like this, like down at their hips. And they they don't even look. They don't even go through the sights.
So funny because now that we know about MMA, we know that the guy who doesn't look the best isn't the best fighter. So if these guys were actually in combat, like with the muscles they had, they would be gassed out within a half a mile.
I can't run. It's too much cardiovascular activity.
None of these guys have cardio.
I was hoping to shoot, bang, bang, blow up. It's too much.
Bang, bang.
Wait, is Hawkins the first one that dies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, is that played by Shane Black?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that was played. Shane Black, who wrote Lethal Weapon.
Really?
Yep.
And he's the first
Let me
one
see if it's
out.
the same guy. Can you?
Yeah. Let me look up.
We really should do. We do enough research, but we should do more.
So, yeah, because they do the dirt for the CIA. They take out the Russian village.
Yeah. He's in it.
God, look at it. He did Predator, Long Kiss Goodnight, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Iron Man 3, The Nice Guys.
Well, he didn't write Predator.
No, but he was in it.
That's crazy, though. He wrote Prey.
No, the one before that.
He's
with Toby.
Thomas Jane.
Not with Thomas.
Well, Thomas Jane was in it too.
He wrote and directed Iron Man 3, The Nice Guys, and The Predator.
Nice Guys, great. The Predator, not good. Not good.
Was that the one where they're all on the hunting island?
I think that was Lawrence
2018. Is that?
No, that was the Predators. They really fucked up the Predator sequels.
Yeah,
Prey's great. If you guys haven't seen Prey's gay.
If you've never seen anything in the franchise, I would say watch Predator and then follow it with Prey.
Yep.
Nothing else is necessary. All the aliens.
Danny Glover's great in 2, and Busey's a special kind of unhinged.
You
see Aliens vs. Predator. It's never as because I was a huge fan of. Did you play the arcade game?
Loved it.
Like one of the best. If you haven't played it, one of the best arcade games fucking ever. It's like up there with the Simpsons arcade.
Aliens
game.
vs. Predators.
It's amazing, and the graphics were really good at the time. And yeah, but they were never all the Alien vs. I have a soft spot for Alien vs. Predator Requiem, even though it has Alien vs. Predator Requiem has one of the most disturbing scenes I've ever seen in any horror movie. Where they have one of the mother alien.
She's hooked inside.
She goes inside a pregnant woman's stomach and then just sucks the baby out of the stomach. And that was fucking gnarly.
Yeah, that was like the big pyramid. Yeah, that was like the big pyramid under the ground. Was that one?
That was Alien. That was the first one, Alien vs. Predator. That was terrible with Bishop. Bishop was in that too.
Yeah, so
that was the connecting tissue.
But once Hawkins dies, that's the beginning of. That's where it goes from action. What's good about Predator, what I like about it, is it goes action, horror,
then back to action.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh, this is which I think that's kind of a cool change.
Yeah.
To go like, oh, this is an action movie. Everyone's greased up and fighting, turning into like, oh, the jungle's killing people.
Right.
Yeah.
Something scary is happening, but we don't know
the way
what it is.
Billy is freaked out the whole time is one of my favorite things.
Mm-hmm.
There's a werewolf Dog Soldiers that you would love. Because Dog Soldiers follows this. It actually starts off kind of scary, and then by the end of it, it's just an action movie. It's a blast. It's the same fucking thing. It's werewolves versus Marines.
I love that.
You know?
I love that kind of thing. And I always said with like, and we were saying this before the podcast, I wish, and I know they couldn't market it, I wish if they were going to do a Predator sequel and really wanted to make it scary, don't reveal it's the Predator until it's the very end. Kind of like Prometheus. Just let it roll.
I think that's smart because then you know that what's coming.
You know, it's the whole to bring up wrestling terms. Do you want the surprise or do you want to juice the gate?
Exactly.
What do you want?
Yeah,
you want
to sell
coming?
the tickets. But I think now that everything's streaming and now everything is straight to right to a streaming service, why not do that with a movie? Because you're not gonna. That would actually, I think, help a streaming movie more than in theaters. If you're just going to do a movie that goes right to like Netflix or right to...
Well, I'm trying to think of horror movies that they retconned or that they went back and they reconfigured so they could make it... There's something that... It happens in movies a lot, like the last Rambo, which was terrible. Terrible. That was another script first. And you can tell that this was not a Rambo script. And then they... re-engineered it to make it a Rambo script, but it was
where they're like, yeah, Rambo's got that niece.
Because if you look at the first half, he gets his ass kicked, and that's not been Rambo
doesn't get. Damn, Rambo doesn't lose.
Rambo doesn't lose in the first half.
Troutman will let you know in the first blood. This guy would eat things that make a baby go puke.